Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What's going on, 49ers faithful? I am Jason Aponte, as always, joined by a special guest. You guys know him, and 49er legend, Bills legend, also too. Anthony Boobie Dixon from the Tony Montana crew. You guys know him very well. Boobie, what's going on, man? Thank you for taking some time to talk with me real quick.
Hey, what's good, my man? I'm good, man. Just hanging in there.
Hey, man. And it was crazy because I met you last week and we were talking about how the 49ers were going to go handle business, and they did in their own way. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's the way that they did it, I think, that I really want to dissect with you, because it was special teams, something that you were a part of while you were here. And again, like we talked, a lot of us really wanted you to get touches out of special teams, and we wanted you to touch the ball like as a running back because we saw what was going on. But let's just start there. Let's just start with this game. This team has won games on defense. They won games on offense. To have this win come at the hands of special teams that was a much maligned group for a large portion of the season. Just talk to me about the mindset that you have to have as a special teams team. Like what is it? Is it do your job, every man for themselves, or everybody just collectively coming together? Because without these plays, the 49ers are not playing in this game on Sunday.
Yeah, man, for real, it's just about just believing it matter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys think when you got to play special teams that you might not be as important to the team as an offensive player starting or a defensive player starting, but it all matters. You know what I'm saying? As you seen with the game on Sunday, that cost Green Bay. Saturday, that cost Green Bay. And you just, like I say, you have to go out there in an attack mentality. Know you got a job to do. Know your team. Know your job is important to your team, and go out there and make a play. I always thought when I was running out there on the field to do special teams that, hey, I'm finna make a play right here to change the game, or I'm gonna make a play right here to save the game. So it's just about mentality, man. If you go out there and attack it, you can do special things on special teams.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people right now talking about the Tony Montana squad. I know I asked you on the Bills podcast how much you had to do with the song choice, but can you talk a little bit to the mentality that team had and where the song came from itself? Because I had you pegged for the reason that Future was the reason that was the song, but you told me a different thing, so I think they kind of want to hear that too as well.
Well, man, I can't take the full credit. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was one of the head guys for that, I can't take the full credit. I just remember Ahmad Brooks and Blake Costanzo and CJ Spiller just kind of coming up with a song because, like I say, I was already putting the moves on. You know what I'm saying? I came up with the moves. The movement part was me, but they came up with a song, and we kind of brought it all together, and they was like, we're going to go with the Tony Montana. I was like, okay, that's cool with me. I'm regardless. I don't care what we play. We don't have to play nothing. I'm still going to dance. So, bam, they came with the Tony Montana. I was like, okay, I like that. And so we just ran with it. And it became something that the fans clung on to. And, man, it was just some good times, man. Good memory. I'm still waiting on the 49ers to put our picture up in the Hall of Fame. So we got to get that message to them, too.
Well, I'm gonna find a way to get somebody to get on top of that, because that's absolutely true. Like, some of those years that you were on those teams are some of the best years of my life as a 49er fan. Right. So I wanted to talk to you real quick. Packers game, right? Lambeau. This is a place that the 49ers have had success, right? Like, I feel like Lambeau hasn't been the same since Mike Vick came and crushed the buildings, right? Like back when Favre was over there, right? Like, it lost its mystique as this place that you can't win. Yeah. Can you just talk to me a little bit about, because you've been on teams that have gone in there and beaten the Packers. Talk to me about this mentality going into this game of we know what we can do. We're not afraid of this stage, and we kind of own them, as we talk about a team that the 49ers have largely owned. Like, what's that mindset going into Lambeau Field in one of those crucial playoff games?
Well, we just going in there to play the game. We're not really worried about it being so much as, we embrace the fact that it's Lambeau Field and that it's Aaron Rodgers and all that. But to ask us how much we really cared or feared, how much fear that it put into us, none. You know what I'm saying? We was just going out there to play the game. We knew how good we was. We knew how good we prepared. So, we wouldn't we didn't care where we played at. We could have went and played in the parking lot against Green Bay. We still felt like we was gonna beat them. So it was just that mentality, knowing we was good, knowing we was preparing good, and just going out there and showing it.
Yep, I hear you, man, and I think that's what a lot of 49er fans hung their hat on in this game. And you and I talked, we said it, shout out to Jay Spence because he's the one who connected us, man, from Bills Mafia, um, yeah. But we talked about it though. We were like, hey, man, this team they about to go over here and do it, and he was like, I don't know, man, I'm picking the Packers, we tried to tell him, man, we tried to tell him that they was hot.
California boys can't play in the cold. They think because we out there in California that we can't, adapt and adjust and play in the cold. But you got to think about it. Some of those players on that team been playing in the cold their whole life.
That's it.
And so I don't know. I don't get the logic, but that's how some think about it.
Hey, I mean, I hear you on that. So, I mean, I had a chance to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask it to for the larger audience of 49er fans that we have here. You were on some pretty special teams. And not special teams, like you were on some very special 49ers teams. Right. Which is your favorite 49er team that you were on? I know the answer, but I'm sure that a lot of the people that are watching would love to hear.
Man, I was just talking to my kid I was training about that, man, about my favorite teammate ever, Randy Moss, man. I think that was the 13 team, 2012, 2013 team.
That's the bowl year, the Ravens year.
The year we went to the Super Bowl. And I remember, man, I used to go run up and sit beside Randy Moss every chance I get, and used to get on his nerves and wear him. And he was just so funny, man, and outgoing, and what I'm saying, just his voice, just hearing Randy talk, man, could, have you laughing and having a good day. So, I embraced that, and I learned a lot from him. He the reason why I swim a lot, now, because I watched him swim every day, and I'm like, dang, Randy, why is you swimming? Like, we play football. We'll come out of practice, we'll be done, had a 3-hour 30-minute practice, and I'm seeing him running routes, and then by the time I go in there and get dressed and I head to the cafeteria, this man is in the swimming pool swimming laps up and down the pool. So I'm like, what the hell? So I had to figure out what was his method, what I'm saying? Like, why was he doing it? And he told me about how it keep your body, in shape, how it can help with your breathing. And so that made me a better player. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just that season, Kaepernick, what he did, what our defense did. Our special teams was amazing. It was just a fun ride, man. We won some crazy games that year, some game-winning field goals. I want to say we had a couple game-winning touchdowns too that year, but man, that was probably the funnest and best year of my football career.
And they definitely were holding right on that kickoff return, right? That was a hold.
Definitely holding.
Well, I'm glad that we got to that too, just because a lot of people are gonna say, oh, well, I'm a 49er fan. Many of us feel like that, but I'm glad that a player who was on that team actually saw that and had to say that as well too, man.
We should have played it better, but
yeah. I hear you, man. So, talking about owning teams and things that are going the way that it is, let's talk about this 49ers team right now. 6 straight games against the LA Rams. They call it SoFi Levi South. You were at the Dallas game. You saw how big that 49ers crowd gets. You can't imagine how it's going to be over there. Talk to me about what you're thinking about this game going into it for the 49ers. Is there a world, because I know that there is this logic of thought process, and I understand it. You can't just keep beating a team, right? It's football. It's going to be 7 straight times that you're trying to do it, 3 times in a season. That sounds very hard, right? Like, that doesn't sound easy.
It does.
What's the thought process, though, if you're the 49ers going into this game knowing that you have to win this for the 3rd time? You have to beat them for a 7th straight time for you to play in the ultimate game.
Yeah, my thing with that is why we can't keep beating them. We've been beating them, so let's just keep beating them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to make it too complicated. We know they're going to be upset because they got to read that in the clips that they done got beat 6 times in a row. Who cares? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we know these guys. We got to prepare like we know these guys because we do. And we just got to go out there and keep doing what we've been doing. You know, we know they're going to have a extra chip. We know Aaron Donald going to be extra angry. So is we. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to change nothing. You know, they got to change what's been happening. You know, we need to be confident and go out there and play our game and believe like we've been doing. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's what they need to be.
I hear you, and I think the same thing. I think the 49ers are going to win this game. Not just homer, blinders on, anything like that. It's just the matchups. Everything that is just in line with it, and the 49ers are just too physical at this point. You know, whoever comes out on the other end for that Super Bowl, we'll revisit that a week or two down the line because there is a game and, you know, there's a week in between. But right now what the 49ers do is just stylistically a problem for the Rams, right?
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question about Jim Harbaugh. Because there's a lot of 49ers fans that still, you know, Kyle Shanahan's doing a great job. Obviously, we are where we are right now. Nobody's disputing that or anything like that. There's a lot of 49er fans that feel just at least a little bit unfulfilled in terms of you guys were so good for that stretch that he was there. And to, you know, I understand it's not easy and I understand things are in play. I'm not implying anything here. But, like, can you talk to us a little bit about Harbaugh's mentality, how he got you guys ready to play, what made you guys play so hard for him? Because the year before, there was a coach with largely the same roster, and they didn't look nearly the same as soon as Harbaugh came in. Like, what was the change you feel with Harbaugh and how he coached you guys up?
Well, with Harbaugh, man, it was a grind. You know, he made us do long hours. I was just talking to my guy I was training about that. We used to come in the facility at 6 o'clock, 6:30, and wouldn't leave till 6 o'clock, 6:30. You know, we basically got no sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you think about doing that for almost 6 months. You know, minus a couple off days he gave us in there from winning. It was rewards for winning. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the whole makeup of it was a grind. You know what I'm saying? He fed us a lot of information. You know, we had to handle and retain a lot of that information, and you know, we had to go out there and execute it almost every day. You know, or he would be upset, and we'd have to spend extra time, you know, going over it. So we was like, man, we already don't want to spend no more time than we doing. So let's just get this right now, because I remember one time he had us doing live 7-on-7s. You know what I'm saying? Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's how crazy it was. We like, hold up, man, no. We had a whole player team meeting. We was like, now somebody got to say something to this man. He got to
So,
get 7-on-7 means he crazy. But
Boobie, let me ask you something. Coaches, right? Like, I have a problem sometimes when coaches try to walk in and impose their will on grown men, right? And I feel like that tough guy stuff, it kind of gets lost in the sauce, right? Like, especially when you're talking about veterans and guys who have been doing this in the NFL, right? What was it about Harbaugh coming in and being that hard on you guys that you guys didn't rebel against it, that you guys were just like, this is what it is, we're embracing it? Because I'll give you an example. Like, somebody like Joe Judge for the Giants. He wants to make guys run laps. Oh, we're tough. We're going to hit people. This is what he's talking about. But I feel like that didn't go a long way in that locker room because the respect wasn't there. What was it about what Harbaugh brought that you said, all right, he's being a hard ass, but I mess with the vibe and like I see where he's going with it. What was the difference, you say?
like I said, it was the reward he gave us for winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a reward if we won. So, and then, you know, he listened. Once we had that player meeting and we addressed the things that we addressed, I think Patrick Willis, Alex Smith, Justin Smith, a lot of those guys went up there and talked to him and let him know how we was feeling. And he adjusted. You know, he adjusted. So credit to
So
him.
he's a player's coach. He's a player's coach.
Yeah, he turned into a player. He turned in more into a player coach. You know, it was like at first it was like hard and like we was like, oh no, this ain't gonna go good. But after we had that meeting and guys talked to him, it's like he kind of changed a little bit. I remember it was like 2-3 days he wasn't even the same guy. We didn't even recognize him. We was like, what's wrong with Coach Harbaugh? You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I think he was just kind of adjusting too, because that was his first year doing the job. But credit to him, he adjusted and we went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. I agree with that. And that's crazy, right? Because you can just be rigid in your stance and just say this is my way or the highway, but I think that there's a human element to coaching that is needed, right? And guys need to feel you. The guys need to feel, that you're pushing them for the right thing and not just to send some message. I got a message right here from Vince. Shout out to him for the donation. Boobie, you signed my blue Bills football when I went to Bills training camp when I was like 14. I live in NY, but was born a San Francisco fan. Big fan of both of you. Shout out to Vince, man. That's pretty cool, Boobie, right?
Right. That's cool, man. Hey Vince, look, since you giving donations, I'm gonna send my cash app to you.
I was waiting. I was waiting for one of these comments from Boobie too.
So look, $5 too.
So look. What I mean by that is we did the Bills podcast last week, right? And this is where me and Boobie connected, right? And I was explaining a little bit of my expectation with the Packers game, and I said this is exactly when Jimmy's gonna pop out, just when you think that something is wrong or you're not gonna be able to get it from. And Boobie was like, "Man, I want to make sure I tweet that Jimmy is trash or whatever," so he reads it for motivation. Yo, Boobie out of pocket, man.
You know what? That tweet coming again this week. Because we need you this week, Jimmy. No, he seemed like he feed off that. So hey, and I know as a player in my career, I did too. I never took it too personal to where I wanted to, go out and hunt people down and try to hurt them. But I heard people talk negative about my game and stuff like that, and it didn't do nothing but push me to want to prove them wrong and to prove myself right. So, this week I'm gonna make sure I tweet at Jim again. You trash. So he turned again.
No, honestly, I never get upset like about that. Like when a player like uses a hype video of people saying stuff about him because any motivation is good. And me, I never played football, but like in this, like I'm trying to get into this podcast thing, this journalism thing. Tell me I can't do something just so I can prove you wrong. So I understand that mentality. A lot of people really want to know about the Tony Montana squad, right? Like, so we kind of talked about where the song came from, mindset, all of those things. Like, when did it really lock in that everybody was like invested in the whole, like having Future come pull up to the Candlestick and perform? He's from Atlanta. Like, he's not a 49ers fan, right? Like, so like that's something that you guys made happen with all of that. Like, we all remember all of that. Like, when did it feel like the special teams unit embraced the whole Tony Montana dancing and everything and just we're a unit? Like, did it happen immediately or did it like happen gradually?
It happened in practice. Like I said, man, I was one of the guys that was kind of getting tired of just doing the same thing. Like we would just run down the field, come back and line up, run down the field, bang, come back and line up. And finally, I was just like, you know what, man, I gotta have some fun with this. This hard. You know what I'm saying? I never played special teams before. I'm like, I gotta add my little twist on this then. You know what I'm saying? Like I never played special teams in college or in high school. You know what I'm saying? So this was my first time being on special team units, and having to do this stuff. So I'm like, man, yeah, I'm finna have some fun with this because, part of me didn't want to do it, but part of me did, because I didn't want to let my dream go. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like I could be that guy with the rock in his hands. But I'm like, I'm playing for my dream team. I want to be here. They don't, they want me to play special teams. Okay, bet. I'm gonna play special teams then. I'm gonna be a team player. I'm gonna handle this professionally. And so I just started trying to be creative with it, man, and have fun with it. And at first it was some pushback, no doubt, because that just wasn't them when I arrived. They didn't even play music in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? So, but I came and I started doing stuff like that, started dancing on the field a little bit more. They started loosening it up. We became a more looser team. And I think we gel better. You know what I'm saying? With not just including myself, because I don't want to make it seem like that, I made all that happen, but I know I was part of the reason that a lot of this stuff got going and got kicked off. So, yeah, I think, just with that, the other guys was just like, you know what, man, forget that. I remember Blake Costanzo saying one day at practice, you know what, fuck that, Boobie, I'm dancing too. You know what I'm saying? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? And then, boom, once the captain, because he was the captain of the unit, You know, they had made him captain of the unit. He had a good relationship with dang, coach gonna be mad at me. I can't remember his name,
His
but
name.
it's all love. But he had a good relationship with coach, and coach made him the captain of the special team units, which you know it is what it is. But you know, once he was like, I bet we all gonna do it then. You know what I'm saying? Then everybody else kind of started joining in. Now I ain't look like the crazy man out there at practice every day. You know
It
what I'm
seemed
saying?
like it seemed like you were infectious, right? And I think that that's the energy that all of the people that are in our comments right now that are talking, we're excited to hear you speak. Is I think that they all tapped into all of that, right? Like it's not just the team. Like a lot of the people externally that we watched you be the catalyst, right? Like in that way of energy, and I think that there's something tangible to that thought. It's not something that is, oh, well, they're just happy to hang out. It's like that infectious energy that goes through the team. You guys are playing for each other. You guys are having fun. You're loose. And I think that that is a sign of a dangerous team, which you guys were, you know,
Yeah.
for all of those years. And I think a lot of that is really easy to see from the outside, especially me as an East Coaster who never went to Candlestick. I was never able to make it. You know, I was, you know, broke at the time. You know, like I made it to Levi's now, but like I still repped as hard as I did, but you can still see that from the TV. Like you can still see that from the TV as well too. So, let's see. We got some questions real quick. Let's just see. Kenneth wants to know they could have given you some more reps to give Frank a breather.
Yeah.
You can talk real quick about that. Like we don't gotta, you know, go too in depth, but yeah, like what do you think about that?
Well, you know, man, the thing with that was you got to know Frank the Tank to know that you know nobody wouldn't get no reps unless you know. And then you got to understand too, man. It's not a knock against Frank, man, because I think Frank was a hell of a player. He did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do. You know, if I had a starting position and a young gunner came in, I would have been doing everything in my power and upping my game to keep my position too. And that's what he did. Credit to him. He kind of fought me off by maintaining his high level of play. So yeah, man, Frank wasn't coming off the field though. You know, he was a war daddy. And me and him was considered the same type of back power runners, you know, with speed. So it was either him or me. And
Right.
then
That's why Kendall Hunter was something different.
yeah, he came in and switched it up. Michael James, Kendall Hunter, they brought them in as the scat pack, you know, the guys that run routes. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they came in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you know what it is too, Boobie. I think your energy, it reminds us of those teams that we love so dearly, right? Because the year before Mike Singletary's there, the team misses out on the playoffs. The next year, 13-3. And every year in the NFC Championship. So this is why 49er fans hold you in such high regard.
Yep.
The energy was infectious. You are a part of teams that we all remember. No matter how the games ended, we remember every single one of those years. We remember all of those moments. We remember how it happened because for any, you know what, even the staunchest 49er faithful fan, anything like that, nobody could have seen the turnaround coming when Harbaugh joined and you guys all got together. Nobody could have seen that coming immediately, right? Like nobody would have said they're going to go 13-3 their first year, go to the NFC Championship. That sounds crazy. So I think that's why a lot of us still hold you in that regard, right? Like we can all agree that we feel like you were at least a little bit underutilized and you probably should, because when you went to Buffalo and you were cooking over there. Like there's that Canada game where you're running over everybody, like and everybody looks at it like, damn, look, Boobie's getting his shot. This is what we were talking about this whole time. But I think a lot of us hold you like that because we hold those teams in high regard and how much you guys made us feel so much joy because of beating the Saints and you know going to the NFC Championship, making the Super Bowl those years. So like I think that's where like we all hold you real quick. So look, Rich wants to let you know you were the spark plug, got everyone going. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Boobie, is like we all talking about like your energy is infectious. And if it's infectious to the guys that you're playing with, us as fans watching, we feel it through the TV. We feel it. Even if you're not in the stadium, right? There's plenty of people who went to Candlestick during those times that they felt it. Like that song bumping out of the speakers. I'm sure it went crazy. I would go crazy in the crib by
Yeah.
myself, with it. But I think that's a reason that we hold you up so high up there, like honestly. So, let me ask you this: you you go to Buffalo, and then did you play with Frank too in Buffalo?
No, he came there after I went.
He came after. Okay. I was gonna say that. Like, what would the conversation be? So look, yes. Boobie dip, but we'll get him back in. I'm sure he'll jump back in. But shout out to everybody that's in here right now. Thank you guys for joining. We'll get him back in. I'm sure he'll just hit the button. But make sure you hit that like button while you're here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We got a lot of content coming this week for the 49ers, and I'm happy that you guys are here rocking with me. I'm sure he'll pull back up in a few seconds, but it's pretty cool to talk with Boobie and to get some of those stories from that Harbaugh era that we all kind of hold near and dear. I think his phone may have died. He was talking about that, but for while we're here, while we're waiting, I'll probably hang out for a little bit just to see what's up. But if you guys have any questions about the upcoming game, anything like that, let's talk while we wait. For Boobie to get back. So again, shout out to everybody that's in here and shout out to everybody in the chat. This is pretty fun, man. Boobie's a good dude, man. He's just a regular dude. And I think that his phone just died more than anything. He was telling me that he didn't know if his phone was gonna hold up. I wasn't gonna hold him for too much longer. So do I have a favorite Anthony Dixon moment while we're chilling? Man, I guess it's like those preseasons, like when he was dominating and we were like, why is this man not getting more touches? But he kind of explained to you that, Frank was there and there was nothing you could really do at that point. But every preseason, we kind of looked at it like, man, this guy should be getting more touches. So, all right. So I did ask him how it was, and he said he had a little to do with it. And he said that it was Blake Costanzo that had a lot to do with it. So it was a group thing of how that all happened. He said that basically when he was out there dancing by himself, they would never play any music, anything like that. It kind of just took over. And I guess that just speaks to how infectious his energy was and how infectious he was. So let's see what else we got here. Great show, Jason. That's awesome to hear from AD. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully he taps back in. If not, then, whatever. We'll just call it a little bit early. I'm happy that he was able to, spend some time with me and do that at least, man. He's just such a regular dude, man. He's so nice. Unsung hero of the next game. Eddie? I don't know, man. I just feel like there are no unsung heroes at this point. I think this is the playoffs. Everything that you do is magnified. And I think that, if there was an unsung hero from this last past game, I would say it was Tart for making that tackle. So maybe there is one of those plays, but it would be hard for me to predict because that was a play where he ran literally 40 yards from one side all the way to the other, and then it ended up with no points. So, I mean, it's going to be one of those plays that you don't see coming or something that you really can't foresee, like at that point. Let's keep going real quick. Glad to hear from former players. Let's see. Dusty Gold. Glad to hear from former players. Glad you got him. Yeah, man. Boobie was easy, man. He was really nice when we were on the Bills podcast. Former Bill, former 49er. Picked both teams to move on. But he's just a regular chill dude, man. And it was so easy to set this up, man. So, do you think LA is going to do anything different in their defensive game plan? Kenneth, the thing is the Rams are pretty rigid in what they want to do, right? Like Brandon Staley left the blueprint, and then Raheem Morris had to run that, meaning too high, don't let anything over your head, everything in front of you, throw in the middle of the field, run on us, it's cool, we're going to score more points. So maybe they'll try to sell out to stop the run a little bit more. They sold out to stop the outside zone, and they changed it up during the game to go back inside zone, but they kept the toss to show outside zone, make them over pursue and get back in. So I have full faith in Kyle right now because that defense is scrambling right now. Raheem Morris, all those guys, they're trying to figure out how to stop this run offense when Kyle is the one waiting to react to them. Show me something in the first drive. Cool. I'm going to amplify it and go another way with it. So sure. They're going to try to stop the run because they want to put it on Jimmy G's shoulders. Breaking news, if you're a defensive coordinator, that's probably what you should have been doing the entire time at this point. But with them, it's just they're over-pursuing, and it's just a little bit too much, and they got too far into stopping the outside zone. So that's why you really can't ever stop this run offense. That's what's got me a little bit excited about this game. Conversation with Justice Smith would be epic. I'll try. I just got lucky to pull up with Boobie and everything as well too. So yep, Jimmy is due for a good game. I've got him doing well this week too as well. Anybody gonna be in LA? Because I'm gonna be in LA. I'm leaving Friday. Pulling up to the 49ers invasion. Shout out to Nick Clark, who sets all those up. He's awesome. I'll be at John Chapman's thing, pull up to the tailgate. So anybody that's out there, if you guys want to talk, grab a beer. I'll be in LA. Let's get it, man. Let's flood that place because the 49ers should have back-to-back games in the same stadium. So let's see. All Day Niner 007. You think the boys will go in overconfident? I don't think so. I think they know what they want to do. I think they know where they're at. We can be overconfident as fans because we don't have to play. But for me, I don't really think that the team will be overconfident in any opinion. So, Raphael 562. I live in LA and got my tickets. Shout out to you, my boy. You about to be in for a absolute treat. Brett Runback, bribe Justin with Budweiser and bourbon. I'll take that under advisement, Brett, and I'll try to reach out. Say, hey, listen, I can send both your way, and if you just give me 30 minutes of your time on here. So, our team looked tired last week. This week should be different. Let's go. Yeah, well, the cold will do that, and the extra day of rest that they'll have. So, winning on Saturday gives them another day off. So, I'm with it, man. I agree with you as well too. Driving down from Milpitas, California, going to Hermosa Beach with Chapman. I'll be there, bro. I will be there. So if you see my tall, goofy ass, say what's up. Let's have a beer. Let's talk Niners, and let's have some fun. I'm excited, man. I always love being in Cali. The vibe is different. The fans are different. This is a huge game. This is a huge, huge game. In 2019, the only playoff game that I was able to be in the vicinity of, I didn't go to the game, was the ill-fated Super Bowl in Miami. But this is going to be a lot of fun, man. Really a lot of fun. So, Rams will be shocked that SoFi will be taken over by Niners fans again. I feel like they kind of poked the bear when they said, nah, we're not selling it to, really? Okay. Well, you don't realize how many 49er fans live in the greater Los Angeles area anyway, because there are no Rams fans there. They just moved there from how long ago, right? There's still St. Louis Rams fans, and they keep moving around. There's way more 49ers fans. So when you tell 49ers fans they can't do something, and you've already seen what they did in Week 18, the result should have been the same. You should feel like you kind of poked the bear this entire time. You know how we talk about like bulletin board material for the other team? Well, you just gave bulletin board material to fans that will pay through the nose to be there just to spite you. So that's why they had to lift it, and they knew they couldn't stop it for that much longer. When you hear Matthew Stafford's wife complain, when you hear Sean McVay say, please don't sell your tickets, that only adds more fuel to the fire. And I'll ask you this, 49ers fans. Let's just keep it a buck. We're all 49ers fans. And you pay whatever it is that you pay for your season tickets. Let's just say, I'm just throwing out a number. I have 2 tickets that I paid $250 for each of, while paying for the personal seat license. I know how that goes. But someone comes to you, and you're a family man. Someone comes to you and says, I'm going to give you $800 for this seat. I'm going to take that money, put it in my account, and give it to my family and take care of my daughter, take care of my rent, take care of my bills. Ticketmaster don't discriminate. StubHub don't discriminate. And money talks. So the Rams don't have fans. That's true. But I'm not about to sit here and blame some family man for selling his tickets for whatever it is that he has to make extra money to take care of his family. So that's why it should always be that this is what's going to overrule. Like, that's it. Like, right. Like, exactly, Christian. Look, $700 for nosebleeds. The people selling it for $700 didn't pay no $700 for that. They did not pay no $700 for that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just about like rational thinking, right? If I pay for something and you want to give me like 150 times worth what that was, done deal. I get to watch the game in my crib, use the bathroom whenever I like, drinks are free, all of those things. That's it. So, and on top of that, there's not many Rams fans. There's not that many Rams fans. There's like 7 of them, 8 of them. You know, Whitworth's wife, exactly. Whitworth's wife telling Rams fans not to sell. If you got a problem with that, then buy the tickets from them for what they cost on resale and help those families out. And then give them to Rams fans. But you won't do that. You won't do that. You definitely won't do that. You just said that in a tweet. That's my thing is don't tell me how I move when I have a family, right? I got a daughter. I got to pay my bills. Don't tell me how to move. And that don't make me less of a fan. Just means that I'm fiscally responsible. That's it. That's it. So look, I'm looking at it right now that Boobie's probably not going to be able to pop back in. I think his phone died. That was something that he told me about like when we were first joining. I appreciate the little time that he gave us. I appreciate that you guys enjoyed the conversation with him. While you're here, like the video, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. Plenty of 49ers content coming this week. Tomorrow, Brad Graham. Thursday, I'm on with Grant. I'm on with Sprint Right Option. And Friday, I'll be vibing with you guys out in LA, man. And what an exciting time to be a 49er fan, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Raphael, thank you, bro. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, let's take them. You know, I'll probably kick it for like 10 more minutes to see what happens. If Boobie pops on, cool. If not, then, you know, I know what's going on because he did kind of tell me that his phone was in a bad spot. But how we feeling about a rematch with the Chiefs? James, appreciate you, bro. Jason, you think more Chargers fans in LA than Rams fans? I think they'll show more blue in SoFi. I mean, they'll show more blue this time, but it won't be – it's still going to be a large pro 49er fan. Like, 49er fans are rich as hell. I don't know how they do it, man. I thought I traveled a bunch. I've been to, week 3, Philly, the Chargers practices. I went out to training camp. I thought, oh, here we go. Here we go. I got you, Boobie.
Hey, yeah, man. I done got in the car now, though.
No, we're good. So basically, what we're just talking about right now is the Rams. The Rams seem to not wanting to be selling tickets to the 49ers fans because they're afraid of what happened in Week 18. Talk to me a little bit about that, Boobie. Like they're not going to stop 49er fans from traveling.
Yeah, man. They're not gonna stop that unless they gonna pay for the tickets they sell and hand them out on game day. But man, I think the faithful. That's how they rock. They always was like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when we was playing, I remember my first year, we wasn't even that good, but they would show up and just be going crazy. Like everywhere we went, you could see the red in the stadium, and I was like, oh man, this lit. And you just feed off that, man, knowing you got the support, knowing you got your people with you up in the stands, man. So the Rams, they need to worry about the field more than what's going on in the stands. See, I definitely already know they're not going to have a good game because they too much worried about what's going on in the stands. They better worry about what's going on on the field. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. And all right, so let me talk to you about the mentality, right? Like we talked about it a little bit earlier. The 49ers largely have beaten the Rams. They've beaten them 6 straight times. Uh-huh. And it don't matter the quarterback, right? Jimmy was quarterback for 5 of those games. Nick Mullins beat them.
Mm-hmm.
It's in their heads right now at this point, right? Like, not only do we have to win this game to be in the Super Bowl, but the big bad boogeyman is right here. Like, yeah. So I'll equate it to this, man, and I don't want to – let me know if I'm out of pocket. The 49ers didn't have much success against Seattle, right?
Yeah.
And You know how it is, right? Like, I never felt that the 49ers ever backed down from that challenge ever, anything like that.
No.
But as a player, does that ever get in your mind, like, man, we can go out here, play our best game, and somehow it doesn't work out? I'm not talking about you guys specifically. I'm not talking about the 49ers against Seattle. I'm talking about the Rams mindset, where they're just like, man, anybody but these guys. Anybody but these guys.
Well, yeah, it's kind of dreadful now. I'm not gonna lie. You know, once Seattle, now it was back and forth with us in Seattle. So while we was making that run, I think we probably split with them. They'll probably get us one time a year. We'll probably get them one time a year. Mm-hmm. Now they kind of took it from us when they beat us that last time and went to the Super Bowl with it, and that's when they took off. But as far as the Rams go, man, yeah, it's a little dreadful because you think like these dudes got our number. Why we can't beat these guys? But I know them. I know those guys are pros. You got a lot of all pros and superstars on their team. They think they can beat San Francisco. And they probably was watching that game because if you watch that last game, hey, it looked like they was gonna beat us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But San Francisco made their comeback. So, I'm pretty sure, they still oozing with confidence and they going to come out and play their best ball of their lives. We just got to keep doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to overthink it or underthink it. We know what this game means. Everybody know what this game means. We got to bring that intensity. We got to bring that anger, that locked in focus. And we got to go beat these guys for the 7th time.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that, like, there's a human element to this, I feel like, right? Like, Sean McVay running into the end zone when you up 17-0.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like that. But don't tell me that it's not in your head, Sean McVay, right? Because that feels like the younger brother who has a lead on his older brother in Madden, and he's talking crazy because he's never beaten him, and he's never beaten him in anything, and he's already trying to hype it up, right? But little did you know, older brother got a little bit still in the stash for you, and then that's when you end up the way that you did. Like the Rams, for them to say, "Oh, we didn't notice Coach was in the end zone," you lying. Like you lying. Like there's no way you ain't noticed. First of all, your coach got a get back guy. Meaning there's a guy who holds him back on the sideline. Where's he at? Because he need to be fired. This man ran not only onto the field, he ran into the end zone. So don't tell me that this isn't something that's in their mind right now, like at this point. For me, I feel like the 49ers walk into this game. Obviously, there's the pressure of making the Super Bowl, but they don't got pressure at all because they've already done more than people would have ever imagined, and they've done it against this team. So they're walking in like, we can do it again. You have to change the narrative. The Rams have to change the narrative. The Niners don't have to change anything. That's the problem.
Yep. And I think, this game, they just need to, try to get ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever they got to do to get ahead of these guys. Because the one thing about that, St. Louis is not St. Louis. I'm going to call
No, that's right. No, you're right, Boobie. You're right, Boobie. They St. Louis, man. They in LA. That's why they got no fans.
You're right. You right about that. But yeah, man. They over there feeling some type of way. They got this. So if they get ahead of us, these guys are going to try to stomp our heads in. So what we need to do is get ahead of them. Jump out, come out, and get ahead of them this game. Make them feel that from the last 6 games all from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And I think it could definitely play a psychological difference with that, tie advantage. You know what I'm saying? If they do that.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. So, look, I said 45 minutes. I know your phone, disconnected and everything, man.
Yeah, man. My bad about that.
No, you're good. No, you're good, man. We knew that was going to happen. But the comments, they're loving you, man. They appreciate the energy that you got and everything. I'm gonna end it on this score prediction and who's gonna be playing in the Super Bowl.
All right. First off, I want to just say, man, I appreciate those fans that still rocking with the boy, still showing me love, man. It's all love over here. Okay, so let's get to the score prediction. Of course, I think the 49ers going to be playing the Super Bowl. I think the score prediction will be kind of similar to last game they played. What it was, 24-27, something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be somewhere up in there. We're going to see a defensive battle to start because, I think both teams are at that point where we know each other. You know what I'm saying? So I think 49 fans just don't need to get too frustrated early on because it might be a little bump in the road. These guys are going to come out and be ready. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the guys can pull it out, man. I know that last game with Green Bay, I was sitting there looking at the TV almost disgusted. You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, Willis come through and block the punt. Now I'm jumping around the house again. You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, you just got to be patient and just keep on, just believe it. Even if it started to look ugly a little bit, because, you look at what happened with the Tampa Bay and Rams game the other day. Brady was
Bucks
down
almost
24.
had it.
Yeah.
They almost had it.
But boom, so just keep playing the game, man. Stay patient, stay cheering on your team, and just believe.
Right. So look, I got a question from Victor before I tell you. My score predictions out there or whatever. But Victor wanted to know, how long did it take the team to believe in Kaepernick when it was switched over? Boobie, this is a good question.
Oh man, not long, because if you really know Kaepernick, most people, just finding out Kaepernick because he took the knee and, all of that. But that's far from who Kaepernick really is. You know what I'm saying? Who I think he really is. Man, he was one of the hardest working guy in there. I remember them having to tell him as a quarterback, you got to get out the weight room. We don't even want you to lift this much. You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing him conditioning. When we used to run gashes and hundreds, man, didn't nobody keep up with Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? He was out in front of the whole crowd. You know what I'm saying? And so when you see a guy like that, when you see him on scout team come in with that great attitude he had, eating up our number one defense, throwing lasers against our number one defense we had with, and it's not hard to believe in a guy like that because you see him out here doing it. Like he doing this on scout team. He out here eating on the first defense on scout team. We knew what he was going to do when he got his chance. You know what I'm saying? So to answer his question, it wasn't hard at all. We was all just waiting for it to happen. Unfortunately, it had to happen like it did with Alex getting hurt because we all love Alex the same. It's a team. We love each other. But we knew what type of talent he had behind him and how hard that dog he had behind him was working. That boy was putting in work. So everybody was like anxious and excited to see what he could do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And all right, so look, I'll leave you with this last question. That was Harbaugh's kind of guy, right? Like, did it ever feel like Harbaugh was waiting for like an excuse to plug Cap in and then just pulled the reins off and was just like, look, this is it, we're rolling? Or was it was more of a message to you guys of just like next man up, things like that? Like, because it felt like Harbaugh was really happy when Cap was like unleashed and he just was like, he was running with it, like because that was his guy, right? Like we all saw him on the sideline hyping whatever the quarterback was with Alex Smith. Obviously Alex Smith wasn't his pick. That doesn't matter. He got the best out of Alex Smith that he's gotten, right? Because that's how good of a coach he was. But did it ever feel like Harbaugh was in his bag completely or felt very great because Cap was his guy? He wanted to have Cap and he wanted an excuse to play him. Am I off?
the thing with that was, Alex had us winning. You know what I'm saying? If you follow it, Alex had us winning. So it wasn't that he was upset that Kaepernick wasn't on the field, but, Alex was, kind of, proving everybody wrong. I think people was with Alex to have a couple bad games in a row, and then so Cap could get in there. But what Alex came in, man, he was playing some of his best ball ever as a Niner. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen no beef between Alex and Harbaugh. I seen beef between Harbaugh and Balky, but that's a story for another day.
Man, yo, Boobie, hey, Boobie, hey, I'm gonna lock you in for another day just so we can talk all the way through all of that.
Yeah, I've seen them two get into it multiple times now, but
hey, yo,
Alex was just doing his thing, man. And Cap was doing his thing too. So we was like, we got two good quarterbacks. Us as players, we didn't care, as long as we was winning. You know what I'm saying? But when Cap came in there, we kept winning, so we ran with that. That's all it was for us.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that, now I know, Boobie. Boobie, the next time that me and you link, this is gonna be the Balky and Harbaugh stuff, man, because we kind of know we kind of know what we know from the outside, but it would be great to get your insight. Look, I'm gonna let you go now, Boobie. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time. I know you were in the gym. I know you're in the car right now. Appreciate you, bro, for joining, man. I think it was a great throw for 49ers fans to relive the Tony Montana squad, for you to talk about your insight in terms of, playing the Packers, which the 49ers just did, and your enthusiasm still for the team. This is why this fan base still enjoys you so much, because you still identify with them. And, man, it was just a blast to hang out with you for a little while, while you gave me some time, man. I truly appreciate it, man.
And I appreciate you, Jason, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep giving guys like myself, a chance to have a platform and get their voice out. And, I think that always helps. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you, and I respect you for what you do as well, man. And I look forward to the next time.
Appreciate you, Boobie. The next episode is going to probably be in the off season, where I'm just we're going to dissect this Harbaugh Balky thing, man.
We got to talk. If we head to the Super Bowl, we got to talk.
Yeah, that's it, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna be in LA on Friday, and then that means 2 weeks later, I'm gonna be in Alabama for the Senior Bowl, and then I don't know, man. I might just hop a flight right back just to be in the Super Bowl, bro, man. So but yeah, Boobie, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna let you go, man, and we'll definitely set this up again, man. I appreciate you so much, man, and the fan base and everybody that's in here enjoys your enthusiasm and what you brought to the team, man. You're still a 49ers legend, no matter where you go, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate you. Next time.
Yes, sir. Definitely, Boobie.
All
right, man. Shout out to Boobie Dixon for joining, man. He was in and out, man. I appreciate that, man, a lot, man. But thank you guys for all joining. We had almost 205 people in here live. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. We've got plenty of content coming this week in terms of the 49ers playing their biggest game of the season before they play the other biggest game of the season. So I appreciate everybody that's in here, man. It means a lot. It really does, man. That was a lot of fun to hear from Boobie Dixon, who was a part of some of the most beloved 49ers teams that we can remember, even while we're going through this season with the 49ers giving us memories of their own. So I'm Jason. I'm going to get out of here. And as always, let's go Niners and beat those damn Rams. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.